From hidden glitches to unique mechanics, here is every difference you need to know between Minecraft Java and Bedrock Edition. In Java Edition, the Wither isn't hard to beat, especially if you trap it underground. However, the Wither in Bedrock Edition is a whole different beast. Even the spawn animation unique to this Wither indicates that this fight won't be an easy one. With 300 HP, it's faster and stronger, and it has new mechanics. When its HP drops to half, it performs a massive explosion and summons several Wither skeletons. It can also dash into players at high speed, causing massive damage. Compared to the Bedrock version, the Java Edition Wither seems pretty harmless. Armor stands in Bedrock Edition have arms, allowing them to hold items. You can also change their pose, make them invisible with an invisibility potion, and rename them with a name tag, including special names like Grum or Dinnerbone for unique decorations. Java Edition lacks these features, making Bedrock's armor stands more versatile. The Farlands is a legendary phenomenon in Minecraft. Bedrock Edition has a similar glitch called the Stripelands, which appears about 17 million blocks away from spawn. This glitch occurs because the game considers every other block to be invalid, creating stripes of void. Minecraft starts to break down at around 20,000 blocks from spawn, and it gets progressively worse after 130,000 blocks. At 1 million blocks, things start to stretch and distort, and movements become jerky. By 4 million blocks, players can't walk and begin to fall underground. The Stripelands start at 16 million blocks, and it's surprising that such glitches exist in the game. What happens if you activate the end portal if there is already an activated nether portal inside it? The result will be different depending on whether you are in Java or Bedrock. In the Java edition, the nether portal will break, but in Bedrock, surprisingly, both portals will activate. In the Bedrock edition, placing a fence under the end portal allows you to walk through it without teleporting to the end. In Java, you will be teleported to the end regardless. Cauldrons in Bedrock edition can hold potions, allowing you to craft tipped arrows without a crafting table. You can do this by clicking on the cauldron while holding arrows. It is also possible to dye the water in cauldrons, which allows you to dye other items like leather armor directly in the cauldron. This feature also adds a decorative touch to your builds. Cauldrons are different in Java and Bedrock editions. And here's a fun fact. In Java, if you place an Enderman in a water-filled cauldron, it won't take damage and will be quite comfortable there. Such a skin can only be used in Bedrock. Java, unlike Bedrock, does not allow you to have transparent pixels on the first layer of the skin, making them black automatically. In Bedrock, it is possible. This way you can camouflage yourself well so no one can find you. If you fall into the void in Java Edition, you'll take damage and eventually die. However, in Bedrock Edition, you'll land on a barrier layer that prevents further falling and can't be broken. We have dolphins and baby dolphins. However, the cub version of this mob can only be found in Bedrock. The same goes for squids, glow squids, and salmon, which can be found in 3 different sizes. The variation in the size of mobs makes the game more diverse. There are many types of bridging in Minecraft, from normal to god bridging. Speedrunners and PvP players often use these kinds of skills in the game. However, all of this makes sense only in the Java edition because in Bedrock, bridging is much simplified. You can place blocks right in front of you by clicking on the spot where you want to put them. This bridging method works even if you are on horseback. Leaves are so much cooler in the Bedrock edition. In snowy biomes, leaves get covered in snow during snowfall, changing to a frosty color. Java edition needs this feature, and adding more leaf states would be awesome too. If you watch closely at the skins in Bedrock edition, you will notice that some of them blink. This is because Mojang added this feature to all the base skins, but only for Bedrock. In Bedrock edition, you can ignite campfires, candles, and even TNT without flint and steel by using an item enchanted with fire aspect. Also, passing through a campfire or candles while on fire will also ignite them. Hardcore mode currently only exists in the Java edition. This is a very important mode for Minecraft, and the lack of such a mode is frustrating for many Bedrock players, as they cannot challenge themselves by risking the loss of their world in hardcore mode. Bedrock edition has a handy feature that Java players dream of: bone mealing sugarcane. If you need paper for bookshelves, you can grow sugarcane instantly in Bedrock, while in Java, you have to first make a sugarcane farm and then wait for it to grow. In Bedrock Edition, you can create a map from a single piece of paper if you place it in the Cartography table. This is much cheaper than in Java, where you need 8 pieces of paper and 1 compass. However, you won't be able to see your position on the map until you combine it with a compass. You can make a horse faster than a sports car if you are in Bedrock Edition. Apply the speed effect and breed horses, and their offspring things will become much faster. Repeat this several times and you'll have an incredibly fast horse. Banners in Java Edition are more useful. You can create a waypoint on the map by placing a banner and clicking on it with the map. The color of the waypoint matches the banner, and if you rename the banner using an anvil, the name shows up on the map. Also, in Bedrock Edition, you cannot decorate your shield by attaching a banner to it. The fishing rod in Java Edition can pull mobs, objects, and entities like boats and minecarts, making it more versatile than in Bedrock. However, the fishing bobber in Java looks more realistic, but is less functional. In Bedrock Edition, you can see 2 pages at once when you open a book, which looks more realistic. In Java, you can only see 1 page, making it easier to read, but less visually appealing. In Java Edition, you can use wool as fuel. It's rarely used since there are better types of fuel, but it can be handy sometimes. So apparently wool in the Bedrock Edition is somewhat fireproof. Obtaining mob heads is easier in Bedrock Edition, as if you blow up a pile of mobs with a charged creeper, you get a head from each mob. In Java, you only get 1 head at most from the whole pile, which makes mob heads more valuable. Pistons differ between editions. In Bedrock, pistons look thicker and more voluminous. Unlike Java pistons, you can put redstone, buttons, and levers on them. Bedrock pistons are also more powerful, capable of moving chests, furnaces, and anvils. In Bedrock, you can see dancing mobs. It seems weird, but it's true. Use the /playAnimate command to apply animations to mob, so that you can have a dance party right in Minecraft. In Bedrock Edition, if you share a dyed sheep, the remaining wool pieces will be the same color as the whole sheep. In Java, they always stay white, which is a bit disappointing. Sheep look slightly different between editions. At first, they may appear identical, but this is not entirely true. In Bedrock, the wool over their face matches the color of their body. In Java, no matter the sheep's color, the wool over their face is always white. Breaking functional blocks like furnaces or enchantment tables without a pickaxe still drops the item in Bedrock Edition. This is odd since they're made of blocks that usually require a pickaxe, but it can be helpful when you don't have the right tool. Riding a horse with a shield in Bedrock Edition is quite handy because the shield automatically blocks attacks. In Java Edition, you need to manually hold up the shield, making it a bit harder. Bedrock has some OP features, doesn't it? In Java, there is one annoying thing that is solved in Bedrock. When you put a flower on snowy ground, this block stands out too much from the other blocks because the snow in the place of the flower just disappears. In Bedrock, it looks much better. The flower is quite naturally placed in the snow, looking more realistic. Snow layers in Bedrock Edition are affected by gravity, meaning they will fall if the block beneath them is broken. In Java Edition, however, the snow layer simply disappears when the block beneath is broken. If you throw a snowball through fire and it hits a mob or player, it sets them on fire, but only in Bedrock. This way you can turn a snow golem into a fiery attacker. On peaceful difficulty, no hostile mobs should spawn. However, in the Bedrock Edition, you can still spawn a piglin brute. It's surprising that the peaceful difficulty doesn't remove one of the most dangerous mobs. Java players know that cooked raw beef is called steak, but in Bedrock Edition, it's just called cooked beef. Not very original, but straightforward. F3 is an incredibly useful menu, which shows coordinates, FPS in the game, the level of lighting, the number of mobs around, and many other things. In Bedrock, such a menu does not exist at all. You can use emotes in the Bedrock Edition. Emotes are a part of the character creator that allows players to perform animations, but they have one big disadvantage. Most of them are paid. Besides emotes, you can buy skins, cosmetics, maps, and add-ons in Bedrock. While you have to pay for these, some marketplace items are really cool and worth it. Entering a nether portal in Bedrock can spawn you mid-air, but a platform of netherrack will generate around you. In Java, there's no platform, so you have to be more careful while teleporting. Dispensers in Java are much more accurate compared to Bedrock. In Bedrock, arrows fly more randomly and may miss even close targets. This way, in Java, dispensers can be used to create deadly traps. In both Java and Bedrock, parrots can dance if jukebox music is playing near them. However, parrots in Bedrock Edition are a bit cooler than in Java, as they can dance even if they are sitting on your shoulder. The mobs in Bedrock are apparently good dancers. In Bedrock Edition, some hostile mobs are a bit smarter than their counterparts in Java Edition, because they can't make their way through rails. If their target is on the other side of the rails, they simply can't do anything. In addition to this, some hostile mobs are more powerful in the Bedrock Edition. If you set them on on fire, they don't slow down like in Java. You will probably need more advanced obstacles for them. There is a special kind of shipwreck in Bedrock Edition, namely shipwrecks consisting mostly of acacia wood. In Java Edition, there is no such kind of shipwreck. It seems that they are still floating there. The Debug stick exists only in Java. It looks like a regular stick, but with an enchanted glint. Hitting a block with it lets you edit its states, like turning a grass block into a snowy grass block or changing the direction of a block. In Bedrock Edition, you can create an infinite water source with one bucket of water. Pour it just above a cauldron to fill it up, and then you can fill a second bucket from it. Redstone and water don't mix well in Java, but in Bedrock you can place redstone components like comparators and repeaters underwater. Climbing on top of the bedrock layer in the Nether is a popular trick in Minecraft, but Bedrock players can't do it. You can't use ender pearls to get there, nor can you place blocks in creative or survival mode. Even if you manage to get up there, you can't get back, making it a big loss for Bedrock players since it's convenient for building bases and traveling. Even though you can place redstone components underwater, for some reason you can't place rails there. In Java, you can put any rail block underwater and ride minecarts there. Bedrock Edition's rails break immediately upon contact with water. Another thing that doesn't work underwater in the Bedrock Edition is creating air pockets with doors. In Java Edition, you can create air pockets underwater by placing doors, which makes underwater exploration and building much easier since you don't have to keep returning to the surface for air. However, this doesn't work in Bedrock Edition. Java players can use shaders to make the game look stunning. While Bedrock has ray tracing, which enhances graphics even better than many shaders, both are incredibly cool, but shaders give you more options to customize the graphics in the game. In Java Edition, if a creeper that's been affected by a potion explodes, it leaves behind a lingering potion effect. This feature isn't available in Java Edition, even though it's not particularly useful. In the previous video, I talked about the biggest mobs in Minecraft, and the biggest mob is the giant zombie, which can only be summoned with a command. But in Bedrock, there is no such creature at all. In this case, in Bedrock, the biggest monster can be considered the Ender Dragon. In Java, if you put an Enderman in a boat, it will stay there until you break the boat. In Bedrock, even if you manage to put one in a boat, it won't stay long. One great feature of Java is that you can play any version of the game ever released. Anything from the oldest alpha to the newest snapshots available, including April Fool's snapshots, which are really fun to play. This feature is sorely missed in Bedrock. In Bedrock Edition, you can pause the game even if you open the menu. In Java Edition, the game pauses when the menu is open. This is because Bedrock worlds can be connected to other players, making it a mini server. Even if you disable multiplayer mode, the game still won't pause. In Bedrock Edition, you can change the color of shulkers by using any dye you like. Technically, you can do this in Java too, but it involves using the complex command to change its theme. Cakes can stack up to 64 at a time in Bedrock Edition, allowing you to carry more cakes. In Java Edition, cakes don't stack at all. This is great for players who love to keep a stock of sweets on hand. In Java Edition, wearing a creeper head cuts the detection range of nearby creepers in half, so they won't see you as a threat until you're much closer. The same happens with a zombie head around zombies or a skeleton skull near skeletons. However, in Bedrock Edition, you still need to keep your distance. If you watch closely, a squid's arms will gradually move slower. In Bedrock Edition, this shows how much oxygen it has left. After 15 seconds without air, the arms stop and the squid suffocates. This detail seems a bit much for such a minor creature. In Java Edition, the Ravager mob only breaks leaves and crops. In Bedrock, they are able to break leaves, crops, and also other things like mushrooms and flowers. Breaking a path block in Java Edition gives you a dirt block. In Bedrock Edition, using Silk Touch on a path block gives you the path block itself, something you can only do with commands in Java. Java Edition lets you put a turtle in a boat, but you can't do this in Bedrock Edition. It's not a big deal though, since turtles can swim just fine. In Bedrock Edition, if you rename boats and minecarts using an anvil, their names will show above them when placed. This feature isn't available in Java Edition. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe.